Hello there, it's me, Blazing Space. You might also know me as John, but I am as I was called recently, a multimedia artist. What a fun term. I'm an artist, and I wanted to come and say hello. I helped put this presentation of things together. You are currently in the waiting room, which means we have not gone live with TerryMonstrosity yet, but you're live with me. And I'm here to encourage you to join the chat at weirdatnight.com. Also, even though tonight's performances are completely free and simply here because we want you to enjoy them, I also want to encourage you to tip the artist. There will be tip graphics that show up during the stream. We're also going to put some stuff in the chat. So, you know, if you can, if you're not struggling as well, then maybe share a little bit, you know, maybe you'll feel inspired to give a little. I know we're gonna put on one hell of a fucking show for you. I'm gonna be right back with you live from this hot tub just before the stream begins. But for now, enjoy some of our content in the waiting room as we get you caught up on the storylines of Weird at Night, what we did last time on the audio video podcast, The Lab, and just some special shout outs to creators that we love out there. And of course, I always want to say, you know, all Black and Indigenous lives matter. They matter to me. It's important to say that and to reaffirm that until it's actually true in this system we're all in. And I want to encourage everyone to vote. And now that that's been said, attack with love. I'll see you soon.
happens when a well-meaning, small-statured, dim-witted, financially adjacent, aspiring Twitch show host accidentally sells out his community and sends everyone on a collision course to wackiness?
I guess we'll find out. Hi everyone, I'm Patrick Galactic. What you're about to witness is called Weird at Night. We've been a very happy stream for the last, well, whatever time it is anymore. We've been a very happy stream. We've been sharing art, we've been sharing music, we've been laughing, we've community'd, we've done all those things, and we've still found lots of time to focus on me. But with this rapturous success came the need for more rapturous success, bigger rapturous success, eternal rapturous success. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about how to be a successful, bigger, better, more Twitch streamer, because isn't that what you're supposed to do? That's what everyone tells you to do. So around episode 29, I made a bit of a deal with a well-reviewed Twitch community grower thingy company called FINE CORP. And at first, we grew like never before, and I was rolling in the dough and basically that. But what I didn't even think to take the time to understand about the binding legal document that I bound myself and all of us to without reading was that FINE CORP has final programming say. And you can imagine with some of our contributors, this led to a real sticky situation. And if that wasn't hilarious enough, several of the stinky hippie types in the Weird at Night universe have gone missing. One of them was returned but went from being a friendly knife-wielding, self-harming LSD spiritualist to a Mad Men multinational, money-munching, merciless masochist. That's neither here nor there. It's somewhere. So we now have a community of contributors and community members who don't like FINE CORP, but I'm bound by some pretty serious legal ramifications to adhere strictly to the stuff I recklessly agreed to. I mean, just look at this. Hold on. I mean, just look at this. For one, Patrick Galactic has no sex appeal at all. Look at this fucking nerd. Like, that's us. We're the secret ninjas. The secret ninjas of corporate accountability and believing in your neighbors and taking care of your communities and buying from local businesses and shit.
Music is the real drug y'all need to be into. And if you haven't bought Phantasmagoria yet, and if you haven't bought Renaissance Bitch yet, and if you haven't bought Moondust yet, and if you haven't bought Fuck Danny Denial yet, all Blazing Space has to say, baby, what you waiting for?
And as the audience drools with sublimated sexual pleasure, the two enormous and highly paid heads come together.
It's for you.
Here's the deal. You stop blowing the whistle, and by that I mean you must cease the blowing of all whistles. You and all of your fucker Juan stars are going to do everything FINE CORP says, or we kill Jack Panda.
What? You'd kill your nephew? That's all you've got on me? Bitch, I'm Olga motherfucking Lowe. I might be gross, but I'm always gorgeous.
wanted to let go.
But
I want to hear you say you're gonna make it. Come on, Ryan, say it.
I'm gonna make it.
Where are you? Tell me what you see.
Where are you driving to?
Just drive.
Admit one thing. Can't beat the view.
Hey, aloha, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to another very special Weird at Night. My name is Blazing Space. You might also know me as John, and I am here to welcome you to this super special night we have planned for you. 8 p.m., TerryMonstrosity Live. 9 p.m., a new AV podcast of The Lab with Purr Gato. And then at 10 p.m., Weird at Night, and finally, FINE CORP free, baby. Weird at Night is all about the sharing of community art, and we have finally defeated our corporate overlords, and I am so excited that you've joined us for this big celebration, and we really couldn't be starting it off better, right? I mean, Terry Monstrosity, what a prolific artist. Terry has released, I think 3 albums in the last year. It might even be 4, maybe I'm forgetting a release, but holy shit, Terry has been on fire with Copacetic, Not for Play, and the most recent release, Sad, which is something Terry actually recorded a little while ago and then released during the pandemic. But oh my god, please check out Not for Play, please check out Copacetic, then go back, check out Subdued Exclamation, which is Terry's record before that. All of Terry's work is amazing. It's up on Spotify, it's in his Bandcamp, and you're going to see it live tonight. I'm going to be grooving on the visuals once I get out of this tub and dry off. And as I said, just thank you so much for tuning in. I love you for doing so, and we are so thankful to have the equipment and the opportunity to bring these people together and present this to you. And I want to give a quick shout out to my good friends Allison Tillos and Carlos Tillos, without whom none of this would exist. They birthed this beautiful baby called Astral Media Lab, which I am so lucky to be a part of, and which has teamed up with Patrick Galactic of Weird at Night. So thank you, Patrick, to do these special monthly shows where we release a new episode of our audiovisual podcast from our archives, which are exclusive interviews, live performances. Carlos and Allison have had such a huge impact helping artists in our scene. And then, you know, recording and documenting some of the biggest players. You know, some of the episodes coming up, y'all. Holy shit. Planet Booty, Hotels, Kiki Valera. I mean, you really don't know what you're in for. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Tonight, though, 9 p.m., Purr Gato. I mean, we really couldn't have a better lineup of artists with Terry and Purr Gato. Terry is somebody who was having a lot of success in the music scene a few years ago, maybe got a little burnt out with the business of show business. I had a conversation with him outside of Clock Out Lounge at a show once, and we both talked about, you know, capitalism sort of hurting our inspirations, and we found ways around it. Terry, you know, took a couple years during that entire time writing, making music, but just kind of staying away. And in the last couple years, Terry has flung back huge, collaborating with bands like Barax, performing at, you know, Timberfest and Capitol Hill Block Party. Terry performed with us at this Foxy Brown showcase at Parliament Tavern, which was fire. That's when I first knew I gotta work with this guy. So you're really in for a treat. Stay tuned.
It's really hard to keep a band going for a long time, I feel like, in any setting. And, but this is one approach to keep it at least community-based, and everybody speaking to each other rather than people fighting over what they want to play, you know?
What do you think? What do you think people see in Afro Cop? Because for the longest time, I think I fought the idea because I was so used to structured form-based music and seeing a lot of people play within very specific contexts and skill sets.
Even improvised music.
Yeah, even improvised music.
Yeah, because that has like a pretty straight format if you look at like the jazz idea of it.
Heads and solo sections. Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, you know, going into ideas and seeing where it's going to take you to the next. But as far as that's concerned, I think that the whole idea of it was basically everybody brings their idea. You don't go home and practice a bunch of chops and then just, I like that chop that I was playing at home, so I'm just going to play it, you know, here. You pick what fits to what's happening, and by working together with each other and communicating. And I wanted to be on a higher level of communication rather than just, you know, like, let's just do this. And, you know, maybe that's the next consciousness level of improvised music. But, you know, it just began as an idea of, hey, everybody has their turn to speak, and, you know, and we speak together. And, you know, if it's a fluid motion, if we have similar ideas of where we want to take it, then we're gonna get along, and we're gonna make interesting music, even if it's weird to some people. And some people don't get it. That's fine. Other people get it. You know.
I mean, I think people more and more are getting it, and that's really refreshing and
yeah,
exciting.
That
it's
is
really
exciting.
Cool.
It is refreshing.
Alright folks, welcome back. Blaze in Space. So we talked a little bit about Terry Monstrosity and how Terry Monstrosity has found ways to prolifically make opportunities for himself outside of having to engage with this gross capitalist machine that some of us call show business. And often I think of the term show business actually as quite nostalgic, but the business side of it I think is what we're fighting tonight in this night of celebrating our and defeating the corporation. Purr Gato is a band who does a ton of stuff outside of the capitalist picture, in bartering, in trade circumstances. They've been one of the greatest proponents to me of just getting out there and sharing art, sharing your equipment with people, just helping people elevate their work to another place. And Purr Gato's really inspired me and a lot of other people in that way, I'm sure. So tonight you're going to get to see not only an interview with them, but 4 performed songs. I believe 3 of them might even be unreleased and off of some future album, but I was lucky enough to do the visuals with them in that basement session, and I am so fucking excited to finally get to share it with you. And I want to say thank you again for tuning in. None of this exists without you. It's kind of like that old saying of, you know, a tree falls in the forest, and if nobody hears it, doesn't make a sound. If you don't see this, yes, our art exists, but it does not complete the full loop of its existence. You are completely necessary to receive what we want to show you tonight, and I could not thank you enough for tuning in. Of course, we want to say attack with love, spread the word, share the stream. You know, if you're watching right now and you know somebody who would love this, invite them in. We're in the chat at weirdanight.com. We'll be there all night. That's sort of the home base for this stream that's being produced by Astral Media Lab. And yeah, so after Purr Gato, Weird at Night with Patrick Galactic. Weird at Night has become this super fun community place to share art and talk shit, and we're really into automatic writing, which is, you know, it comes from sort of like a Dada way of approaching art, of you just kind of jump into it, that maybe sometimes the most authentic things just can automatically come out of you, you know. And I'm definitely a proponent, of course, of, you know, like luck is sort of like preparation and opportunity meeting. But there's something really special about trusting your creative flow and just letting yourself create. And we're all about that at Weird at Night. Our host Patrick Galactic is excellent at his job. We just defeated our corporate overlords, and I cannot wait to celebrate with you at 10 p.m. Now, of course, first, we got TerryMonstrosity. And I don't want to keep you from that. We're almost done with our time together in the waiting room. And, you know, kind of makes me think, what would I want to say, you know, to each and every one of you watching this stream? We're live. I'm about to dry off and go do some visuals for Terry. What'd I tell you if you were here physically with me? An old saying definitely comes to mind, that time is in the journey, and the journey is home. You know, let's keep fighting. Let's vote. Let's fight racial injustice. Let's educate ourselves to be anti-racist. Let's ensure that the systems of this world accept and realize that Black and Indigenous lives matter to all of us. And I also want to say, in terms of attacking with love, creators, I'm looking at you. I challenge you to touch back in with the original source of what's so magical about what we get to share tonight. And by that I mean, what is the one way that we as human beings can create without using any resources, without taking something with somebody else, without creating a wasted product? It's to have an idea. It's to create with our minds. We create mentally something new. We bring something into this timeline out of a timeless universe of thoughts, ideas, and experiences. And all of your voices, all of you watching tonight, you matter. And your voices and your thoughts and your ideas are important, and some of them could change the world. And so I challenge you to engage with those ideas. Create mentally. What do you desire? What itches you? What would you want to do if money were no object? Then do that. Attack those goals and attack with love. So let's take compassionate action. Let's help transmute hate into love Let's do that ultimate alchemy of energy, realization, vision, self, experience that artists are so accustomed to sharing space in. Let's bring that mindset together tonight. And you know, without waxing too poetic about it, I just gotta say, people, honored guests, all of you, please enjoy Terry Monstrosity.
What's up, everybody? It's Terry Monstrosity. Thank you for having me tonight, or thank you for coming and joining us. We're going to be doing a bunch of songs today. A few of them are brand new. There's nobody who's listened to them except for Monica, and she hears everything if she wants to or not. I also want to say that, you know, this is a very trying time. And there's very trying episodes of circumstance that are happening amongst everyone. And it's not about forgetting any of it. It's just about dealing with it, because it's really, that's all we can do. So I'm going to start off with one from my newest project, Not for Play, produced by I'm Not For Sale. That's my guy. Go check that out, Bandcamp. This one's called Bubbly. Ayy. Gotta take this off. More results. Go pick that up. I be bumping, you bumming. I be dumping, you dumbing. Turning nothing to something. Turning something to ugly. Turning ugly to beautiful. Maybe then you will love me. Maybe then you will plug me. Turning water to bubbly. Tripped in the accident could leave a scar. Fiend for pain like a masochist and beat the farce. Don't keep lying to yourself when you see the stars. Let them try cause it helps when you need a star. Fiend for pain like a masochist and beat the farce. Look at everything that's happening, it's not the church. I'ma remix it all, this is not a hearse. You could maybe meet your death, but it's not the purse. And it's not full of riches, you could get a stitch. No Lilo, no waves would exist without the frequency of a monster in this. I'ma go and get it, then we about to make a hit. I've been bumping, you bumming, and that's the way that we coming. That's the way the city gets running. I just wanna make you feel the plumbing of what we about to go do, and we be ending it dumbing. Cause I be bumping, you bumming. I be dumping, you dumbing. Turning nothing to something. Turning something to ugly. Turning ugly to beautiful. Maybe then you will love me. Maybe then you will plug me. Turning water to bubbly. I be bumping, you bumming. I be dumping, you dumbing. Turning nothing to something. Turning something to ugly. Turning ugly to beautiful. Maybe then you love me. Maybe then you will plug me. Turning water to bubbly. I can see that I'm an eyesore. Paid the cost, too expensive for what time affords. Silhouettes of self-projection on the soundboard. Town car, Continental, Puget Sound for. Found what I was down for and drowned more. Sound in downpours. Victory is all I see, but you can doubt yours. In the street was not my scene unless on skateboard. In the street was not my scene unless on skateboards. Enemies few far between, we need to fake more. No, better yet, my better half won't stand for it. Super green when I hit tree, they be like run for it. And the throne is for the taking, I'ma come for it. Ain't no clone to make mistake what I'ma jump for it. Question ain't the essence in a slumlord. Ain't no lack of meditation when you humble. Hey, I be bumping, you bumming. I be dumping, you dumbing. Turning nothing to something. Turning something to ugly. Turning ugly to beautiful. Maybe then you will love me. Maybe then you will plug me. Turning water to bubbly. I be bumping, you bumming. I be dumping, you dumbing. Turning nothing to something. Turning something to ugly. Turning ugly to beautiful. Maybe then you will love me. Maybe then you will plug me. Turning water to bubbly. Okay, we got the pregame jitters out right here, but we back. But that was Bubbly right there. I really like that song because it just feels like now. That's gonna be the theme of tonight. It's now. You know, there's so many definitions of what anything you want to perceive can be. I know that was very convoluted and seemed like a pothead statement, but I'm saying everything is up to what you make it. Everything I do is not for play. It's not just an album title. This is not for sale. That's not just a producer. This is something that comes from a spirit of just wanting to do and be human. So, I don't know why that moved like that, but we're coming right back. This is Co-Follower. This is off Subdued Exclamation. Shout out to my guy Bill Beats, the whole NOIR GRIME family. Shout out to everybody. Really. Because we all kind of get caught up in this groupthink thing. And that's what this one's about. Suburban metro naturalist, surviving as the catalyst. Battle with abrasion, still I'm passive with the magic tricks. Flipping words, sipping all sorts of self-medication. 9 to 5 grind, still full timing with my dedication. Sit stuck, punch drunk like I'm uppercutted. Mind fucked, mind sweepers with without abduction. No instructions, instrumental introductions. Interject bigger pictures in the sicker functions. In the dungeon, but lunching with the inner workings. The thin smoking, been broke, so consider learning. But how you know things, try to grasp a harder focus. The larger scope is in close, now opponent's hopeless. Don't be working in the hole, when be sure to hold this. On the posters, hoping sticky notes and posters. There's a fee for postage, when you need to know this. But if you do, I feel like a co-follower, but I ain't never been a reject, except when it come to any kind of respect. But by all means, if I regress, I'll put everything in to build it better next time. It's something that never returns, however present, it never returns. But the memory burns. Those memories burn, always on the non-stop hustle, straight money grabbing in a leg trapper. Mapper out the dummy's actions, draw from it like colored pencils, guided by a stencil to make me better. And those with me make it all together. The movement's like a tall propeller, now momentum's grown. Our rise isn't a surprise, it was eventual. And those events you go to like dispensable, so I'll continue through and only pause to take a flick or two. Record the sound and call Ricochet a tune. Eating with a silver spoon, I imagine was a broken fork. What I hold in store might never come out in stores, but seeing is the truth. The roof really obstructs me more. What you cussing for? Frontin' for future lore. When in your waking life, the wind is like a matador. Who you work production for? What's your main objective? Do you like discussion boards? Cause no one takes direction. And I ain't never been a reject, except when it come to any kind of respect. But by all means, if I regress, I'll put everything in to build it better next time. It's something that never returns, however present, it never returns. But the memory burns. Those memories burn. Hey, hey. I really like that song. I hope you guys do too. I'm gonna follow that one up with another song that's in that same threshold of being a cult follower, right? Like we're all in this mode of trying to be connected with each other. We don't want to be wrong, so we follow trains because we just want to be closer to the next. It's not that we're following these paths because we want to be so distant from each other. No, it's ultimately about the connectivity. Everyone's trying to connect in some way. And some ways are perspectives you can never imagine. But sometimes I like to envision mine through gold frames. Produced by my guy A-Hop off the Copacetic album. You can find that anywhere. Light Flex. I can see the world through these gold frames. Icicles in the middle, it's a cold game. You gotta smile, it's a cold gate. You can feel it in your walk, it's the whole gate. I can see the world through these gold frames, cause I did it with a vision and there's no shame. Autonomous, self-driven in slow lanes. Still prominent, wheel spinning in most ways. With wheels spinning in most places. Been a problem with wheels spinning in most places. A bit brighter, a bit watching my own business. A bit wiser, I've been timing the rest of this shit. And I know that I'm in the finals, I'm about to commit to another sentence and nobody will forget all the imprints I've made in the district, in my scene, in the city, in the section I'm in. I just wanna feel life suffice and get you filled in. Try to raise your mental state and make the pills bend. Make them throw over shoulders and maybe you'll forget where we come from in this life that we exist. I can see the world through these gold frames. Icicles in the middle, it's a cold game. You gotta smile, that's a cold gate. You can feel it in your walk, it's the whole gate. Hey, I can see the world through these gold frames, cause I did it with a vision and there's no shame. Autonomous, self-driven in slow lanes. Still prominent, wheels spinning in most ways. In the line, that's the whole thing. Single file in the line, that's the cocaine. Yeah, spin dial, watch your fortunes change. Blow nothing out of proportion, man. Execution and circumstances go hand in hand. Combat with immortals inside a candy cam. Photography, oddity, and a bandit's mask. Well, I hope the Blamber jam in Atlanta's last and run Ramadan fast. So matter of factly, all the oil slip flash while I sip the flaxseed. Wouldn't see what purpose means had I take the backseat. Wouldn't really know if it drift past me. Hey. It's not all bad though, you know, it's your perspective. But I mean, good isn't good without bad, right? What is that? Like really though, what is? So this one we're gonna jump back to a project I did a few years ago, but it's still relevant today. It was called Sigma. This song is called Redemption. I enjoy this one. I don't have a deep backstory with it, but it goes.
We gon' get redemption. We gon' test the limits. We gon' set the bar. What you really want. We gon' get redemption. We gon' test the limits. We gon' set the bar. What you really want. Hit them with the 1-2 if they don't really want to. Get up on this Mac shit, switch them to Ubuntu. Windows I'ma jump through, planning is a must do. They gon' give you wall teeth, I cut with the front two. Just tryna make a buck too. Now have to say fuck you. Quit it with the audibles, capital or crush you. Still miss me with the money live unless they gon' rush through. Invested in my own demise, any moment it'll crush you. I'ma make the crowd go up like it's smacking it. I don't give a fuck about y'all if you slacking it. This whole game, home court, I'm attacking it. Backboard practice, I'm playing, never lacking it. I could be Cadillac fly if I'm packing it. I kill sentence with the real and immaculate. Real in the back with it. I don't give a no matter about a bus. Always rode in the front. We gon'. And we gon' get redemption. We gon' test the limits. We gon' set the bar. What you really want. Hey. And we gon' get redemption, we gon' test the limits, we gon' set the bar. What you really want. I was born 1987, August 16th, flawless entry, lawless means got you intrigued. Head case on my best days, making synth beats. End off in the wind again, this end off on my 10 speed. Head nod, then head off, take the edge off, then get B. It's risky, could be dead wrong and led on by envy, but she gets me. Under all convention, and I'm in for unconventional. Herculean is worth repeating when I mention. Conjecture is what the world's made of. Why you getting caught in the prophecies of a slave son? Probably why you taught as the body of all the hated ones. People looking at you and hoping you wouldn't take it there. Because we rich and you know it. Get a lot of money and they know we gon' throw it. And they know we gon' owe it. And they know we gon' blow it with somebody else. I'm not a prophet but a poet. We gon' and we gon' and we gon'. And we gon' get redemption. We gon' test the limits. We gon' set the bar. What you really want. What you really want. We gon' get redemption, we gon' test the limits, we gon' set the bar. What you really want. Man, don't you feel that though? We're gonna get that redemption, right? But it starts with us feeling like we can get redemption. No. But you have to get that redemption by starting with your internal self, right? Fuck the self-help book. Fuck all that. Not trying to slight any of my people out there trying to get their money, but like really though, self-help, it starts with self. Self is you. It's you. And if you can't get straight to the way that you're trying to do it in this marketed scheme of a way that you need to go about it to become the thing it is that you want to be, sometimes you got to try angles at it. So this next song is called Triangles. You gotta try angles. Keep a square in your circle, I'm aware it could hurt. We don't gotta buy cable. Take the power from work, get straight to it. Then you gotta try angles. Keep a square in your circle, I'm aware it could hurt. We don't gotta buy cable. Take the power from work. People been counting me out. I'm off the canvas and all in your face. Cutting my teeth and they fucking with braces. Something you reach, not them dumb little statements. Rest of them bitch, wish that they had it. Got no antenna, they stuck in the static. Cocking myself in the dump automatic. Lost on the chauffeur, packed up in the attic. For magic Aladdin, no matter I'm established, so savage. I'm glad it's a different day. No habit, I pass it and ministry. No glad in no crash in the middle lane. The man in the mass, it's a matter of fact. You should factor a half almost any day. Kid and play on the interstate. Venom stashed in the attic forest. Activation automatic forest. Acting fast, but I lack the source code. Porous trash, wanna master more rules that it takes. So the last is foretold. If you can't get straight to it, then you gotta try angles. Keep a square in your circle, I'm aware it could hurt. But we don't gotta buy cable. Take the power from worth, get straight to it. Then you gotta try angles. Keep a square in your circle, I'm aware it could hurt. We don't gotta buy cable. Take the power from worth. Vibration, sequence with the hibernation, with the melodrama and drama. The hypothesis that the mom made peas in a pie rockin', yeah, it's Harambe. It's a phenomenon, it's LeBron James. Lost a lot of hands and we played a long game. Blocked a lot of fam and so them fault blame. Lost a lot of hands, so them fault blame. Cause whatever, all control deleted, windows all the same. Disk images, risk synergistic, raw changes. Bit and false plate, risk date, get straight to it. Then you gotta try angles. Keep a square in your circle, I'm aware it could hurt. But you ain't gotta buy cable. Take the power from worth. So, oh, that one's gonna be hard. But triangles, right? I know, like, you know, it's an obvious pun, wordplay, but you know, like, you feel that way, right? Like, there's just no right way. And we keep getting conditioned that show us a new puppet with a new fucking shiny suit that seems alternative enough to fill my needs. And so we run over to him. And we're just disappointed because it's not you. You know, you just don't have to buy in, but that don't mean that you have to fucking disgrace everyone who hasn't bought in. We don't have to see it the same. We just gotta live next too. That's all this fucking place is supposed to be about. That's all we gotta do. We got like a towel. Yes, we do. Cause I'm over here raining. I know y'all see it. We in here. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So this next one. Yeah, we're going to go back to that song I was about to play. This one's Cap and Gown. This is the last couple ones. This was Messiah Jenkins produced, a young cat I met along the way. This one's pretty cool. It's got some weird sounds, but I like it. This ain't cap and gown, ain't no graduation, and we ain't bout to smile through the passive hatred. They soon gon' find out who is not to play with. Past the conversations, ain't no cap and gown. I said once upon a time, I switched my game up. Nintendo, Sega, ball rock from Vega. Long stock potato, the Clippers won't fade us. Dippers gon' miss chips. It's 1-6 like Peja. Stojakovic, I'm locking in. Officially can't take shit from me. Is that temptation frontin'? Don't hesitate, I pun it. Jake and Plummet, Jake Plumber pundits. I hate talking to you. I feel dumber from it. This ain't cap and gown. Ain't no graduation. And we ain't bout to smile through the passive hatred. They soon gon' find out who is not to play with. Past the conversations, ain't no cap and gown. Sometimes I'm afflicted, conditioned to accept the Narnias while I'm ripping. No symptoms seem to leave me all at once. Party cups, seeing red is just the difference that I want. Are we up next? In the on deck circle, bout to burn. Move the runners over, now we in position, trying to win with a 1-up. Extra life we type with finding fun. Double cup stuff at junctions when you done in the dumb stun, acting like a jackass, get you punched. This ain't cap and gown, ain't no graduation, and we ain't bout to smile through the passive hatred. They soon gon' find out who is not to play with. Past the conversations, ain't no cap and gown. If you reflection, you get no respect from me. It's not a blessing, I'm gonna reject this thing. This on the K before elemental. Please think in your soul like I wasn't an enemy. I was on your side, I wasn't an enemy. Living a lie, pretend to be suffering. Psychotest is the epitome. Suffering my bird, serving activities, waving my birds. Serving my mentally, looking at me like I'm the enemy. If you won't get, and you know I'ma kill if you don't win. I'm gonna go with the yeah, you know, like the end of that one, that, you know, it was a little rough, but I just made these songs, right? But the whole point is, like, to me, and we're gonna get a little tangential here, but to me, like, the thing I love about live shows, about shows and arts in general, what got me into it is just that whole freestyle nature. The whole thing that this does not have to be perfect because what we are doing is bigger than the perfection that we've created. This music, this art, these visuals, these lights, this is more than just a tapestry. This is the soul personified. What it is if I a flub is nothing more than our perception of perfection versus the reality of what is. And I'm just saying that, right? Like, we don't have to be out here trying to be somebody fake. Like, I'm not that guy. You see me sweating. I ain't got no chain. My car is kind of cool, but it ain't dope, right? Like, we're cool. We cool. We don't need nothing else. Yeah, let me get that. These paper towels ain't gonna fuck with that, right? You know. You like the glisten? No, you know, I'm not shit. All right, so the next one, we're gonna go back to Subdued Exclamation. This one's called Ricochet by Bill Beats. I just want to like run through a field of poppy seeds and fucking take acid and then ride an elevator. I don't know, you know. They talk about me like they dodged a bullet until I ricochet. See how we gon' kill the game. See how we affect change. Erect statues after us, I neglect shame. Imperfection, as the time is fine. Always going against it, I don't protect the grain. But I'll suggest in the same breath that this is the correct pain. Trying to have your own soul, not a new or old one, but to some, man, it's all the same. So to them we'll go ahead and toast. Didn't you know though? It's all the rage. Everybody's fucking fake though. Even your best friend, nobody's safe from the insecurity of not knowing everything. So let's close the case. You know them bars was real as fuck. I'm just gonna. My company's lie. My company's like Rob's Bodyguard Black. That's big business, so I'ma put my 2 cents in. turn the page. Can never have just one on your shoulder, that's chips. Might as well call it legs. Ain't no reason to believe you can't make it all the way to the Hall of Fame. Wrote a couple chapters, now I'm winning, still sinning. Sometimes that's all it takes. Situations got me thinking about my past choices. Oh boy, but they ain't all mistakes. Leave you without you with these people and the evil. They can be replaced. And I'ma race me through the obstacle courses, forcing it sorta like a steeplechase. Till I cross the line with better career highs. No ties or overtimes, just clear skies. Just clear skies, right? Like, clear skies to some people is just these blue California shits, but clear skies to me is gray with no rain. So it's all on up to you, right? Oh, man. It's a time, ain't it? You know? Taking y'all on this journey, like I've just, I enjoy being able to do it again. So this next one, we're going to go with In Between. This is another Messiah Jenkins. This is another new one. This is another one that y'all don't know about, but it'll come out because I put shit out.
There's a magic in that music.
Why y'all all on the same? Why we can't seem to change? How y'all not on the real? Why we can't see the trees? Mr. Forest for deals. Why we're not about to train? This progression is ease. We invented the game. This projection is gray. Upside down in between. Ayy. Why y'all all on the same? How you can't seem to change? Why we not on the real? Why we can't see the trees? Mr. Forest for deals. No, we're not about to frame. This progression is ease. We invented the game. This addiction is gray. Upside down in between. High geek bench score processing power with a pretense floor. You're not missing hours with the cheap 10-4s. Make a mess of vision that'll be informed. That's a nepotism. Pass it down easy, whatever it is. And as solid as it once was. Definition, gay cuts, but fuck, but I'm never lifting that way just to fit a sweater fit in. Trying on cloth that I ain't cut from. Monstrosity, probably my name, property. Gotta be my name, property. Step into the game, done one like Neo. As new sign Leo, Bastilo, trash crew, crime legal, Bastilo. Mommy, I'm a trailblazer. Word of Geo, he know I'm a hellray. Why we all on the same? How we can't seem to change? Why we not on the real? Why we can't see the trees? Mr. Forest for deals. No, you're not about to frame. This progression is ease. We invented the game. This addiction is gray. Upside down in between. Why y'all all on the same? Why we can't seem to change? How y'all not on the real? Why we can't see the trees? Mr. Forest for deals. No, y'all not about to frame. This progression is ease. We invented the game. This addiction is gray. Upside down in between. Mass over rings, hash marks between where I'm seen in the hierarchy. Lies malarkey, why they need charge? Face the fact that we don't act or be hard. Back to back in gas economy cars. Razzmatazz, dazzle all the peak parts. Sassafras, teal pass for cheap stars. Fast and lean more, infallibly. Answer report, mentality. Then reality in municipalities. Capitol Hill is no Capitol Hill. We all miss no more driven. This how we sit still while we pay bills and keep passing them by. Flashing for real while the activists die. Tagging the t-shirt and practicing lies while you tagging the t-shirt and practicing lies. Disaster could rise. Master this matter and fashion the ladder to match with the sky. Mind is a mind. Tunnel up under the mattress. The boogeyman greeting us like, how long you been here? Steering them, clearing their fears and nearly competing with stripes. Extending my prime. Living it fearless. They don't kill him with life. Taking the clock, they don't tell you the time. Liable to blind you despite your disguise. Fuck with the rise, it's more than a ride. Stipulation waiting for your demise. Indication waiting for your arrival. More than survival. Give me a count. Yeah. Goodness. Yeah. I see violence. green faces, conduct the breach of them faces. In gamesmanship, risking temptation. We've been blamed for this shit, all but implicated. But we them same superheroes y'all see on them stages. It's sacrificial immolation. Looking at me like I'm cold, but I know I'm patient. Had to take it off the top and I'm impatient. Like a first person coming through the spaceship. I'm just gonna beam it up, Scotty. Taking Molly with the acid and I'm flaccid with the water that I'm drinking. Ain't no dollars trying to run up in my house, cause I'm not a pedophile and I'm gonna kick them out. Niggas trying to run a route, catching passes like a receiver, condemner. And I am greeting you with philosophies you might never see. And you know that it's all a part of my legacy. Terry Monstrosity, you know how them letters be. All across the fucking screen, blazing space done got it lead. And you know I gotta get myself to the topic, rocking. Looking at these people miss logic, mishaps in the stuff within syntax. All the things that we suggest relapse. Ain't nobody been a prophet, ain't no one gon' stop it. Ain't nobody talking to you before you be hitting coffins. We be dead in the mind before we die. We be lacking behind for the race ride. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's the part of my shit, go blonde, super saiyan. It's the arms of my hair, it's the hair in my races. And there's plenty of them in the spaces all around us. Outside we the spaceship. Said it twice, once long ago, but replaced it. Know that I'm going in the foam, get tasted. Computer going with the Chrome, not an Acer. Apples getting bit and we do it. That's just my fucking influence. I hope the rest of y'all know that I'm true and truly applied, gifted, a student. iMac and immaculate. No slack, I attack the shit. Combat and eradicate all competition and I'm abacus. Old school the way I count it out. Ain't nobody be able to find it when I sound it out. Hey. Hey. So man, look. Fuck. If you can't freestyle, don't talk to me. Because that's what the fuck this shit is, man. If you can't freestyle with the shit, man, like, what are we doing here? Like, for real. I'll let you answer even though you can. But yeah, that's, you know, so shit. Sometimes you gotta do that. You gotta put that in, because what's the mood? The mood is, yeah, I got a set. I got a bunch of songs right here. You know. But sometimes I just want to give y'all the energy I'm getting. So I hope y'all felt that. Let's see. I'm out here dripping. Sorry. Oh. This one, I made this song 3 days ago. So excuse me. But I like it. Produced by Lex Lingo. That's my guy, Rent Nom family. A few stayed. My people gonna ride for a true change. They don't all work out, but a few stay. We gon' run a route like OBJ. Catch 'em on a fade, make a big name. And we gonna glide like a new plane. Head all in the cloud, power insane. It don't always work, gotta maintain. And I made a vow to make my own name. You gon' survive even through a dive. If you wanna ride, you can't even cry for it, huh? You can specialize if we high on it. You gonna have to recognize we a fire moment. Fire off, pow pow off top. Lighters off, smoke sounds off pop. Wouldn't wanna try to be you. Like you got no reason to. Hey, consume nothing but the season food. Season, no reckless employees. You need me to keep me from ripping and digging too deep into reasons to why we be following models. And my people gonna ride for a true change. Shit don't all work out, got a few stay. We gon' run a route like OBJ. Catch 'em on a fade, make a big name. And we gonna glide like a new plane. Head all in the cloud, power insane. Shit don't all work out, gotta maintain. And I made a vow to make my own name. My people gonna ride for a few change. They don't all work out, but a few stay. We gon' run a route like OBJ. Catch 'em on the fade like a big name. And I'm gonna glide like a new plane. Head all in the cloud, power insane. Shit shit don't always work. Gotta maintain.
And I made a vow to make my own way.
I'm running, you running, but running from something. You stumbling, but coming up, clutching the heart of the moment. What's holding you up? Cause we holding, no ball without us. Ain't no foe about to clutch, ain't no I can't touch, ain't no score on the board that my niggas can't crush. And this done, and resistance has been fumbling stuff. Looking at us. My people gonna ride for a true change. They don't always work, but a few stay. They gon' run a route like OBJ. On the fade, make a big name. And we gonna glide like a new plane. Head all in the cloud, power insane. Shit don't always work, gotta maintain. And I made a vow to make my own way. Shit don't always work, but you know, a few will stay. You just gotta recognize them. It's never who you fucking thought it was. That's the cold part. I be thinking I'm so smart sometimes, and then it's just like, nope, you're not. Not at all. Okay, we're gonna jump into. Man, this song's called Mazda. We zoom in, 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 we zoom in. You can have your Bentley, Benz, or Beamer, bitch. I'm in a Mazda. No songs, blame, no games. I'm a promise. Coming up quick, and the rest of y'all ain't honest. I'ma do it my way. Ain't nobody somber. Another freestyle trying to take it to the precipice. Ain't nobody ever about to step to me and precipice. Put it on my chest. Ain't nobody ready take a hit from the shit that I got. And it is a gift, and it is a curse at the same time, no. Coming out the wardrobe with the lineup. Wardrobe, lion, it's just primal. And you know I got a role for survival. Try to play my role, keep it high up on a hilltop like the goats do. Greatest of all time, I'ma float to. Like we all in a parade, I'ma coast through. Like we all up on the coast, I'ma roast you. And you know I get the post cause I'm cold proof. And I go poof like a magic trick. Hold you. We zoom in, 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 we zoom in. Bentley, Benz, or Beamer, bitch, I'm in a Mazda. No home court, no sames, I'm a promise. I'ma go and get it cause I'm playing like it's Gotham. Everything's dark and I got it. And I always been a problem. Consider myself something like a prophet. Something like the thoughts rolling through my head. It's an unidentified object. It's something that I'm rolling and I got this. Drive a manual transmission and profit off the fact that nobody knows what it is. So I probably won't get burgled or deep in it. Maybe dependent. If I had to go hard, I will deep end it. Things that you don't consider. All the type of mail that won't deliver. No Sunday, it's a fun day. I'ma run fast, I'ma come play. Anyway, any day, I won't complain. Cause I'm still breathing. We zoom in, 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 we zoom in. You can have your Bentley, Benz, or Beamer, bitch. I'm in a Mazda. No home court, I'ma take it, I'm a problem. I'ma score the bucket when you see me, I'm a gotta. Call me a shot. We zoom in, we zoom in, we zoom in, zoom in, we zoom in, we zoom in. There's a whole like thing with that song. Like I really enjoy it because we in the household we own two of them, so I just became like a fan and I liked it, and the whole thing has kind of a like meaning that rolls with it. But you can get that on the Sigma album, right? Like, and that's available everywhere you can stream anything. What we're gonna do right now, I'm probably gonna roll into the last one. Woo! Don't actually know which one that is. You're gonna do Never Always? Oh yeah, we can do that. Thank you, Monica. Christian's in the chat. This one is Never Always, off Not for Play.
Gotta learn to never say always. Anything can happen if you don't let expectation drive focus down the hallway. Keep space, don't fret. Gotta learn to never say always. Anything can happen if you don't let expectation drive focus down the hallway. Keep space, don't fret, 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 don't fret. I feel the power from the transformer. Electricity flowing pop like canned soda. Bubbling under with numbers I couldn't plan for. A Land Rover but stumbling on the dance floor. Doing a jig and a sick and then what we stand for. Can never spell it out. Mississippi the fan blowing. It's getting pissy, my jam going. High frequencies led leagues and touchdowns. Two earth compete the need to touch clowns. Don't mean the burst of reality, it's the first down. From the surface of calluses in the dirt now. And the worst of the calluses in the church out. What you say about the higher living? Jot it down within the pages of what liars written. Self-help comes from you, not a buyer's list or a book club. So you should try to shift it. Hey, gotta learn to never say always. Anything can happen when you don't let expectation drive focus down the hallway. Keep space, don't fret. Gotta learn to never say always. Anything can happen when you don't let expectation drive focus down the hallway. Keep space, don't fret, 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 don't fret. Never knew a wave could catch and surf me. Forever set to place bets and curve streets. Like I'm washing windows, instrumental turn keys. Burn beats, incremental when discerning speeches. Learn release, I'm speaking past eternal reasons. Certain meanings of misfortune that ain't worth repeating. Curtains closed, but the road depleted. A winding road was every day completed. Behind the answer to the glove I'm seated. Above I'm reaching past what hampers all the love we seeking. Beside the cancerous, the banner of the scum who preaching. The lowest standard of the folk around us don't believe it. Don't believe it, don't repeat it. Don't do nothing. This is the last one. Right here, sorry, but this is the last one. I said I was lost, but I'm not so bad. I'ma take my best to put one foot in front of the other, keep it moving. Damn, this one's called Not So Bad. It came up on me real quick, but I got you right here. I swear I was lost, but it's not so bad. I'ma do my best to put one foot in front of the other, keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. Yeah, what we doing? Yeah, keep pursuing. Yeah, keep pursuing. I swear I was lost, but it's not so bad. I'ma do my best to put one foot in front of the other, keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. Yeah, hey, who? I swear I was lost, but it's not so bad. I'ma do my best to put one foot in front of the other, keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. What we doing? Hey. Lost for a minute, but then I reinvented how I'm looking down the line like the spine of a vintage book. The craze for Popeyes got me spinach hooked. Amazed at how time can diminish good. I figured 8 was mighty fine like a knitted throw. Different zones impose elbows when it's difficult. Muy difficile, I'm a beast, lo siento. Don't gotta depend, no the chose, copy tenfold. To get close, the wrong folks change tempo. Swell lymph nodes, this go far beyond the kids' code. The world beyond your piss po, misconstrue info. Listen to the gift, bro. Interludes are simple, and I'll never use a rental when they come to first impressions. Cause if you lead in with lies, then the truth is not impressive. Will not coincide with messages that your path suggested. Emergency like Wyclef in 9/11s. Emerging as a mic fiend, finding leverage. Concerning as a fight scene in Armageddon. Where we headed, not good. Who you in bed with? I swear I was lost, but it's not so bad. I'ma do my best to put one foot in front of the other, keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. Yeah, we do it. Yeah, keep pursuing. Yeah, I swear I was lost, but it's not so bad. I'ma do my best to put one foot in front of the other, keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, what we doing? Yeah, keep pursuing. Yeah, keep pursuing. I swear I was lost, but it's not so bad. I'ma do my best to put one foot in front of the other. Keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. Yeah, what we doing? Yeah, keep pursuing. Yeah, keep pursuing. I swear I was lost, but it's not so bad. I'ma do my best to put one foot in front of the other. Keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. What we doing? Yeah, keep pursuing. Keep pursuing. Yes, thank you guys for listening. I've been Terry Monstrosity. I've just, you know, I've been up here talking, gave you a couple words that you might be able to take to work to the cooler. Gave you a couple songs you can listen to on that traffic ride in. Gave you a lot of sweat, just in case you need some sweat equity in your life. But most of all, you guys give me life. So thank you for allowing me to take 40 minutes of your life and giving it to this cause. Thank you to the Astral Media Lab. Thank you to Blazing Space putting me on the thing. Thank you to fucking Weird at Night, Pat Galactic, all y'all, everybody that's in the building. That's, you know, I know Purr Gato's gonna be through and everything. So let's, you know, just stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot more. We are the scene. We are. So let's just get with it. Thank you.
Holy shit! Oh, Terry, my friend, you are amazing. That was so much fun. I'm sure you could see I could barely keep up. The mental ideas, the poetry, the lyricism, the ideas. You know, Terry is such an incredible musician and writer and idea maker, idea haver and sharer. And thank you so much, Terry Monstrosity, for joining our stream tonight and performing with us live. That was so fucking incredible. Everybody, please, TerryMonstrosity.bandcamp.com. You can buy this music. It makes an absolute difference to support artists directly. You saw the PayPal link on the screen. We're going to post it in the chat as well. Please support Terry Monstrosity directly. Please support Black and Indigenous artists directly. It makes a real difference. It's important. And the art is fucking great. So, now, without further ado, my friends Carlos Telos, Allison Telos, and Kamaria Daniel have created an incredible podcast episode for you, and I hope you enjoy the experience they've curated with Purr Gato.
Oh, it might be where you come from. If where you come from casts a bright light on your new struggles that you made up. Oh, it might just wear you down if your love rubs up on the piss-offs and the give-ups. Always mix up with the good ones. What? Green Lawn, Twitch sticks in Green Bay. Real high class, but my sweaty haze of summer. Sweet Jesus, don't eat all the money. I'm just seeing another speculation. Playing shadows with our masters of the suburbs. We're the masters of the suburbs.
My name is Katrina Cope, and I sing and play keys and write for Purr Gato. anything else? Should I say anything else? That's good. All right.
I'm Tyler Cope, married to Katrina Cope, and I help make sounds.
I'm Devin Buse. I play the drums and use Ableton to contribute to this band.
It's kind of gone through a few different configurations. I think initially I was just writing a whole bunch of music on my own. I wanted it to be a band. And then what was it, like 2012 was the first show, I think, with Purr Gato, and we had Bridget Roney in it and David Levin. And then that was like 6 months with Bridget
on keys and voice, and David on
drums, electronic drums. And then first album, then
and with Tyler as well.
This was Tyler,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So Tyler's been a constant.
Okay.
And then like maybe, I don't know, 2 years later, I think Brittany Cole joined us.
Bridget let Brittany join, and she did vocals and she was Bridget 2.0.
Yeah. So she replaced, and then there was like a part there where it was just me and Tyler, just for a little bit. And then I think it was about 2016 is when Devin joined the band, which was really awesome. So what is that, 2020? It's almost been like 4 years.
Brand new.
Brand new.
Yes, it is.
Brand new. We write a bit together. I think the first album was mainly me just writing music and then transferring it to like, how do we play this live? The second album was mainly, I think, Tyler and I. We collaborated on a few songs. And this album was more like Devin and Tyler and I would jam. Like we did some jamming and came up with some like ideas. And then I think
Devin brought a few tunes.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you brought
Godi Modi, which now we call Peace and Harmony.
Yeah.
So that was something that Devin brought us.
Yeah.
And then I wrote lyrics and melody over.
Yeah, and Another Place.
And Another Place we all,
which is like probably my favorite.
for the most part, I think this album is like stuff that we all collaborated on.
Yeah, it gets put through the ringer.
Is Devin the first full-time drummer that you guys have had?
David did it for like 3 years.
Yeah, but then
I guess we didn't know you guys. We knew you after that when you were just the
two
two
of us.
or with
Yeah,
Purr
and that's
maybe
and we
for
were
a
like
minute.
triggering. We were just like writing beats and triggering, like letting them go and doing their thing, and it's not fun.
I saw that they were doing that. I'm like,
yeah,
that's kind of what happened.
And I
He
was
showed
like,
up
yes, we do.
He showed up at a Royal Room gig.
No, it was.
Is that how you guys met?
It was Royal
I
Room.
actually wanted to know that.
And I was just like, thank God.
Well done.
Like, because sometimes drummers are just hard to come by, you know?
Yeah.
They have to be inspired. Everyone's got to be inspired, but it's just like kit drummers are like a whole thing, you know?
Well, and especially to
got a
have
lot of
somebody
gear.
who's already seems so primed to play not only an organic drum kit but also the electronic side, and to be creative, like in soundscaping and all sorts of directions. So
Right.
yeah,
It really.
Yeah, how did it
match.
come to be that you entered the project?
It was a big. So I went to high school with a guy who's in a big band called Jazz Underground, and Katrina sings in that big band, coincidentally. And I went to college with Katrina. So when Pat, who was a Barry sax player, he said, "Hey, we need a drummer. Do you want to drum?" I'm like, "Sure," because I just moved back to Seattle. And then Katrina was there, and I recognized her from Cornish. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm playing at Royal Room with my band Purr Gato." I'm like, "Okay, I'll come check it out." And then checked it out, and I'm like, "You guys need a drummer." So that's how it happened.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was I mean, everything was just kind of experimental, like whatever we could do to make something work. And so it just kept going through its iterations, and that was like the best place it could go was.
Yeah, of course it started with Devin like having to learn our material that we had been doing, and then it was like a process of okay, how are we going to do this, because we were triggering it just by like a computer. And so you had Ableton, right? So you were like,
that was a lengthy process.
So you guys were just using clips and triggering each individual clip.
when we didn't have a drummer, so when he saw us.
But without Ableton, how was everything keeping in time? Like in the background, were you guys playing to
For
a
us,
click?
it was just a 2-track thing. We'd play and like not fuck up.
Gotcha.
Basically, and then Devin.
Are you asking like when I was there? Or
I was
when
more
they-
asking in the background, but I would love it if you want to explain some about that. Sure.
Just when they were playing, they just like
Yeah. But then it was like a process of figuring out how to trigger it. So we gave Devin a lot of like stems from our previous albums, and put it in Ableton, and
yeah, it was my journey to figure out how to make it so that we could perform what they were using as pre-recorded tracks.
Yeah.
And not our like goal was to be more organic.
Right.
And were you already doing the Ableton stuff before?
Yeah, that was my like main focus was
Okay.
Ableton, and so that's why I thought I'd fit in well with them, because they were
Right.
like electronic.
Yeah.
And that I thought I had something to offer, and that was a fun process for me because I was learning Ableton, and at the same time they were like, we got to figure out how to incorporate these stems into our set. So I got to like learn Ableton and apply it to something at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is like I think a good way to go about learning something.
Always chasing rainbows, rainbows, chasing them once again. Always chasing rainbows, chasing them till the end.
guys met in college makes me realize I don't know that much about your backgrounds, and I would love to know some more. If whoever wants to go, maybe tell us about.
Are you guys Washington? Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Well, I noticed Katrina because she's a good singer. I don't know if Katrina noticed me because I was a freshman drummer.
He was quiet.
I was a quiet drummer. Didn't really branch out until like later.
Drummer? Quiet drummer.
Yeah. Well, everyone in the jazz school is like, shh. You know, like quieter on your bass drum. Like, dang, that's like really quiet. And so I was like more timid when I first started because it was so lower in volume, like dynamically, that I was required to play. Anyway, I was a quiet drummer. Yes. Katrina was really good at singing. That's how I noticed her. And then we didn't really connect at all, really.
No,
I
I
just
think
recognized her.
I think we had like a 6-month overlap.
Yeah. So it wasn't really much of a backstory in that regard. So that's kind of easy.
Yeah. So we didn't like really hang out, but then years later, you know, I come to Jazz Underground rehearsal, which is this 20-piece big band, and I see that he's drumming, and I was like, what?
Yeah. Just
but
like that.
And does you going to Cornish, does that mean that you grew up in this area?
No, I grew up in Anacortes in Hawaii.
Anacortes and Hawaii.
Yeah, so like back and forth, and I was born in Hawaii, and then I moved to Anacortes.
Military-based family?
Kinda, more like a divorced family.
Yes, I know about those. Okay, and did you start playing music as a child?
Yeah, 6th, 7th grade. That's when I started.
On the drums?
Yeah, because you could, like, I guess, hit a drum for a class, which is, I thought, cool.
Like joining bands.
Yeah,
is when you started.
as a class,
Cool.
you could do that, and I thought that was a pretty cool class.
I thought so too. I still do, actually.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool.
And Katrina, you're also from this area, right?
Yes. Like, well, been in different places. I mean, like born in North Seattle, lived in Colorado for a bit, lived in San Diego. My dad worked for Boeing, so, and then just been here.
Are you also Washingtonian?
Yeah, I was born in Bellingham, and then I moved to Seattle in '98, and yeah, I've been here since. That was about, I think I was 21-ish, 22. 98, I would have been 23. Yeah, it was fun.
And what's your musical background like?
I took some piano lessons when I was 6, and I played tenor sax in the school band from 6th grade to 10th grade, and I played in their jazz band or something like that, and the whatever marching band and the the regular
National marching band.
yeah. Songbook was like the Soundgarden book that had was it Bad Motorfinger, that has like Mystified and Jesus Christ Pose. Is that Bad Motorfinger? And it has Rusty Cage. So anyway, I bought that book and a guitar, a Squire, and a little fucking amp, little thing, for like the price of a tenner.
Don't
thinking about back to that writing, recording process, thinking about something that I find really interesting is that, and I think people would like to know about, is that you two, Devin and Katrina, have been doing some like live improvisational shows, and I think Devin, you host that. Is that still happening at the Sea Monster Wednesday things?
That
was for a while.
Oh, I loved that. That was like a year or two ago.
And it was like different guests coming in.
Yes.
The regular.
Yes.
That stopped. I think the Sea Monsters closed on Sundays.
Oh, it was
right.
Sundays. Okay.
Oh wait. I think they are, but
they stopped. They stopped doing business on Sundays.
Was it the football season situation?
I don't know.
Huh.
But it was
you've
about
had a few weekly.
Yeah, I mean, Sea
Year.
Monster or not, like
Yeah,
I was
for a
mostly like
while.
interested in that, like that part of the process, and you guys building a whole. I mean, maybe what becomes basis is for new songs, but also working a lot in your lives on like improvisational music in a territory that is completely jazz adjacent or jazz centric, but is also maybe kind of electronic music centric. Or
it was
adjacent.
really cool. It was like one of my favorite things. I wish that we were still doing that. I wish you were still doing that.
Well, we could probably keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Remember
so
the one you did
cool.
with,
Josh Rawlings.
Yeah.
That was magical. I mean, it was like always
That was
magical.
Crazy.
It was like
so crazy good.
You know, we would
my
just
God.
play something, and he would in time capture it. So he would capture whatever instrumental is, sometimes my voice, and then he
meaning
would chop
Devin?
it up. Devin would chop it up, and then it would become this other song, and then we would just like jam on that. It was just really awesome. We actually have some recordings of that, audio recordings. Need to dig out, but definitely had come out, gotten song ideas from there for sure. It was very
Mhm.
inspiring.
Katrina, you've been doing your own set of solo music that I don't know if you're basing those sets on improvisation or on, like,
yeah, like the
written.
solo stuff.
Mhm.
So I've been working on Ableton, and I've kind of, what I've been doing with it is, I wrote these songs, but I trigger things. So I did pre-recording of some stuff. So I don't, I need to work on it to be able to get really, really good at live looping, which
it's hard.
Yeah, which I can get there, but basically I will trigger different sections or take the bass out or the drums or whatever, and yeah, so that's been kind of fun.
Is it safe to say that you guys are all kind of children of electronic music culture or DJ culture?
I think we do get a lot of influence from that.
So I've always wanted to know your guys' take on electronic, like what draws you to it? Why did you guys choose to pursue that path musically, and how that's different from like a rock or a jazz or other kinds of band pursuits? Any thoughts on that?
I have thoughts, but do you want to talk about it?
Like when you're a musician mastering an instrument, you master their sound, and that's kind of like involved with like a guitar or like a drum. Like you're really mastering these organic instruments that you tune and become really familiar with. And so the production side is kind of mastering like these cool like sounds that you can record, or like manipulating sounds, and that's it's just like following your ear. It's like really attractive to me to hear how produced and how well you can create these sounds, and they like tickle you in cool ways.
Is Purr Gato maybe closest to like a house genre of electronic music? Is that, would you categorize it that way, or not necessarily?
Enough. I don't think we're fast enough
I-
for house. We rarely play anything at 124 or 5.
And we also don't, like, as far as drum beats go, we're not just your typical like
Yeah, the drum
boots and
well,
cats.
the drum beats are really organic.
I think
'cause Devin's playing them.
Right.
It's a human
like
being.
there's a lot of intricateness to it that I think feels more like trip
House
hop or
music
like
can be
jungle
pretty fucking cool though, because like as repetitive as that all four on the floor thing is, like somebody they can introduce these new sounds you've never heard before, and I think that's where electronic music like is like unlike anything else. We've all heard saxophones and we've heard them, and we've all heard guitars and we've heard them affected in all these different ways, but eventually you start to push the edges of that instrument's universe.
Yeah.
You know,
Sometimes
and,
that tranceness can
the
be
electronic
like
stuff is like neon colors for the first time. You're like, what the hell's that? It's
yeah.
just so complicated.
I think with each configuration, and I mean, so Purr Gato's been going, I guess, as a band since 2012. I mean, that's like 8 years. So I think over the course of that, I would probably say like our first configuration was maybe more like Lady Gaga-ish inspired, like more kind of poppy, but
I think
dark.
we were intentionally chasing a genre, though.
I think
too.
we were intentionally chasing a
We were chasing
genre.
this like early '80s genre, like Susie and the Banshees type thing.
The second
Kinda-
album in 2016 that we released, I think that felt more like Depeche Mode. It was a little more dark.
I don't know, EDM can have any color in it really, but there's like also a lot of like pop, warm rainbow likeness to both like the vocals and the colors. And I mean, yeah, lots of 80s everywhere since. How far along is this album? Is it going to be finished in this year?
Actually, yes, it will be finished this year. It's a 10-song album, and we have 7 of them completely mixed, so we have 3 more to go. And basically, we just need to finishing touches before Devin goes to Hawaii for a couple months. I mean, just to make sure, but we can also do things over the web and whatnots. But I need to do some vocal doubles, and then we just need to mix them. And I believe it could be done in March.
Fantastic.
So like really soon.
Are you doing all of the mixing and recording yourself, or did you do it in a studio?
We did the drums and the main vocals in the studio. And then we've done all the synth work here, and we've done some mixing of the synths in here. Tyler's done a lot of that,
and some vocal recording here,
and some vocal recording.
It's
like
a little bit of both,
doubles and harmonies,
and then we're mixing it the best we can, and then we take that mix and those tracks into ElectroKitty, and he mixes it a little bit further.
Are you using any, is it all live drum sounds, or are you using any drum replacement or samples? Or
It's pretty much all live drums. There's a few spots where we're like, oh, let's just add some drums. But I was like, man, I wish I just did it in the studio. But there's a few spots where we add drums, but that's mostly because I was thinking when I was in the studio, I'm going to add drums here.
Is your overall approach to have a live drum sound, or because I feel like I've seen you play and I hear you drop a lot of like 808s or some
drum
heavy
sensors.
stuff. Is that I guess is that part of what you're going for sound wise?
You mean for this album?
Yeah, for the album, and just conceptually, like when you play the drums, you want the live drum sound, and everything else you're doing as color on top with whatever your controller is, as opposed to when you hit your kick drum, you want it to sound like an 808 the whole time, or
so I do a blend. My setup right now is a kick drum, snare drum, hi-hat with maybe a cymbal, and then I have I usually have that mic'd, and then I have a trigger system from Sensory Percussion that has like these sensitive triggers, but I mainly just use it to change the sounds of the kicks. If it is like an 808 kick, then I can manipulate that, but at the same time, I'm still retaining. It's mostly for like it's a process of like experimentation, but it started with actually to go back to the start of Purr Gato, it started with just triggered kicks and like little pads for the kick drum, and like I would do a finger drum thing, and then someone's like, "That's not that cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. Let's do a regular drum thing." Because finger drumming is cool, but it's kind of like you're just kind of pecking away. And then it moved to, okay, I'm gonna try to play the kick drum and do Ableton at the same time, and then have like just a trigger kick, and then it moved to, okay, I can get my snare drum in there. And then I saw this guy named D'Anthony Parks playing like samples on one hand, like really, really well. And I'm like, okay, so it's possible to play samples on one hand and play the drums consistently. So I went for like this binge of just a year trying to really work on the technique of playing the Ableton and the kick, mostly as like a cool factor. Like it's challenging, so let's try it. And then I try to morph that into Purr Gato without using loops. So we're like pretty much not even using loops anymore. We're just triggering all the samples from my Ableton and his setup. And then we kept the kick drum in there because it's still fun. We don't always play like robotic EDM style. So like I like to play nuanced things. I'm more of an improver at heart, so I like to make sure that I'm comfortable and can express myself when the crowd is like really vibing hard or like not so much. I can kind of play subdued, just the bare bones of like the 808 sound or I can get into it and like let the drums speak along with the samples and like have it be like a timbre change with the energy that I produce. So it's still evolving, and it's like I don't honestly know what I'm aiming for right now. I'm just playing, and all those samples, we're just like trying them out to see what sounds cool.
Part of what you bring in that, like, I mean, the word pop doesn't even really cover it, but like your lyrics sometimes can be very like positive and like and heartening, and yeah, right. I was just wondering how much has that always been the case, like in
No, it hasn't. If you listen to our first album, it's like I'm going crazy because of you, or you broke my heart, or and then there's some love songs in there.
My fingers are stretched out.
Yeah, I did it. I read The Sparrow and I wrote a song about it, so that's on the first album. And nice. I mean, if you've read that book, it's about.
Oh, I just read that book.
Oh my God!
That's
right?
a crazy book.
It's a crazy book. So
yeah.
like
you
that
should
song
listen
was
to the Sparrow song that Katrina did for it. It's fucking
awesome.
And that song was also featured on what was that? That show we would always Coast to Coast.
Oh no way!
Yeah,
Art Bell's old show.
Yeah,
yeah, it's George Norrie
or George Norrie. Yeah,
they featured it on a
because it had to do with aliens or space or something like that.
That's so cool.
It was on a Sunday or something.
I mean, there's some positivity, I guess, in it, but it felt darker. And then this one, like all this,
come along.
Then he comes along, but also
so it's this
he
influence.
who should not be named president came along, and I was just like, I think with any musician, when things feel this way, and within the government and people being divided, I feel like this is when musicians are like, well, now we got to write some positive music. So I guess I was just feeling that where, all right, we have to rise to a higher place and not, be stuck in the shit of it. Mm-hmm. And so just trying to write more positive music that helps people deal.
Yeah.
So I think that's where a lot of the lyrics have come from.
I can see that, like, how that grassrootsness of collectivism and creativity and support and, you know, buoying, god damn it, holding each other up, and also like helping to like build into a new future, how that would influence you guys a lot, as you've been doing a lot of those and living in that world. And it's not the way the rest of the world looks, and it's not like playing in a bar. You're very right about that. Like, it is a very different environment than like when somebody just happens to be stopping by somewhere for a drink on their way home.
Right. Because they're not in that mindset, right? They're not.
Yeah, it's like the inclusion to collaborate with people too. I mean, you know, you get everyone that like can just be themselves in one spot. And I don't know if there is no higher vision at something like that. Sometimes it just evolves naturally into something that can seem absurd, but it's not absurd because of the journey that people go on together to like create this absurd thing.
Yeah. So basically, we're like, the kind of shows that we want to do are shows like that. And if we do shows in town like the Fred Wildlife, like what we did there, and had Blazing Space, and then you guys play, and then doing the Best You've Ever Seen, you know, that sort of collaboration with the movie and the lighting and a DJ, like that is definitely down our alley. So it's really hard to go back to wanting to just play a venue with two other bands that say, hey, you want to play with us? You know, it's like, okay, what's the theme? What are we going to do? Like, how are we going to make people feel? You know, so we're definitely like pickier and wanting to only do things like that.
Yeah.
Really. We want to be able to create a space.
Do you guys have plans for the upcoming festival season already?
We're definitely going to Critical. We've submitted to Cascadia. We would love to do that. We will only go to Burning Man and play if Devin goes. Basically.
No problem.
Because there's a Camp Reverbia that has a great sound stage and stuff.
We might go anyway.
We might go anyway. But,
Get one of those like Pope mobiles and set your band up inside of it.
I know.
You know, we thought about this a couple years ago. I got inspired to
I've
do
been
an art
picturing
car.
it in my head for years.
Called
How
the
could I do it with my
a giant
contacts
acrylic
in?
box on a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
that has like
with
a filtering
with
system.
a cage over it, so people
Yeah,
can climb up
like
on top and just
multi-doors
look
to get
in, and it's
inside.
just air conditioned and air filtered in there. And they have their own system in there, and you put a system outside. You just tow it around with live bands.
Air
in it.
conditioning.
Some couches, like a big
Find a
fucking
door where you can kiss babies through.
Yes.
Or you can
Baby
stick your hand
kissing
through
door.
with just a ring.
Wait, that sounds
Spray
weird.
holy water. Are there artists or bands that you guys are into that are sort of modeling like a way forward or inspiring you with what you do? Or, music's a little tricky right now with the way it's being devalued. And are there places that you guys are like looking toward, or people who you're like, oh, that model is something that maybe I'm trying to go for?
Yeah. I have two particular artists. They're both drummers. One is a guy I've been following for a while, Mark Juliana, who when he in his earlier years, he would always play some wild stuff, and he would always like say, be true to yourself and make sure that you're doing what you want, like expressively. And I would like play with other people, and it would seem kind of kitschy, and I would just be turned off from that. And I always thought that might have been a bad thing, but when you cultivate that attitude, you start to gravitate towards these good projects that do good things for you. And then this other guy named D'Anthony Parks, who's the guy with the sample pad and the drums, he just shows me that there's like a lot of philosophy and also application from like computers and humans, and they're more of like kind of like an attitude of approaching music versus like a sound inspiration. So I kind of gravitate towards an attitude and more of a philosophy behind how to do music, because it's kind of like a microclimate of behavior and reactions, and so they kind of drive me towards a better attitude on approach versus like how to sound a certain way.
Cool. You guys?
Well,
man, you can just be creating the world again for yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know, like, I just feel like I've been doing this a long time, that it changes like how you want to do it, or what is the value to it for yourself. And I think I'm really inspired, I guess, by like Sia, just the way she sings and the way she writes music, and then how she's been able to collaborate with people like 07 and then do her own thing. It would just be great to play really fun festivals and parties and get music placed in fun movies and TV shows, and to be a band that like plays on one of those shows. So how to do that, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. If you enjoy it and you are loving what you're doing, then people feel that energy and they gravitate towards that. So I think if you're not loving it, or you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then people get turned off from that sort of thing. It's just, that's true.
Yeah, it's been an interesting project to like let go of ego and let go of preconceptions of how something should be.
That's a big
and to
lesson.
just let art evolve the way it wants to naturally. And there's so many skilled and talented people around that cool shit can get made if they're given the space and the latitude to do it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Love
so
you.
much.
Although it might be where you come from, if where you come from casts a bright light on your new struggles that you made up. Oh, it might just wear you down if your love rubs up on the piss-offs and the give-ups. Always mix it with the good ones. Wild green lawns, rich sticks in Green Bay. Real high class, bummer, sweaty haze of summer. Sweet Jesus, don't eat all the money. I'm just seeing another speculation, playing chat
Whoa, what an episode! Oh my gosh, it's so cool to learn about their musical backgrounds and then to see the music working together. I mean, one of the things that I love about what Astral Media Lab does is it really pulls all of these different timelines of creators into perspective. It seems to me to be an excellent documentation of how when you see art on a stage that is years in the making, and having the courage to put yourself out there and create, that is a feat in itself. And I'm just so thrilled that those people that we know who choose to put themselves out there are so talented and have so many amazing ideas. I mean, the art we've experienced tonight has been so great. So next, at 10 p.m., stay tuned, because it's Weird at Night with Patrick Galactic.
By violent ends, we kill the lights. Through the shadows, madness beckons. Weird at night. 1, 2, 3.
What's up, everybody? It's Patrick Galactic. I'm going to turn the shit off my voice here. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting to do that. Anyway, I'm Patrick Galactic, and you're watching Weird at Night. Thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful evening we've had of incredible festivities. First graced by the monstrous Terry Monstrosity with a set of Unrelenting Truth. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for sharing your work with us. You've been featured on the show many times already, and it was great for everybody to get to spend some real time with you. And Purr Gato and Astral Media Lab with their AV podcast, The Lab. That was fantastic. It was insightful. It's incredible, especially when you get to see your friends do long-form interviews, because you get to know them in this whole other way. So, haha, Tyler, Katrina, I know you now. So, it's really cool. I'm just thrilled. It's such an honor to be able to be a part of something like this. So I want to throw out some questions real quick to the artists. So for Purr Gato and for Terry, I've got questions for you. So Terry, we'll do you first. Number one, Terry, Jesus Christ, you've dropped 3 releases this year. Would you say kind of our circumstances of pandemic has made you more prolific, or is this just the usual kind of output for you? And then secondly, kind of with all that said, and with you being so busy this year, how do you keep your chin up? How do you keep inspiration flowing while so much around us is dysfunctional and corrupt? The third question would really be to the community. Do you think TerryMonstrosity should actually be hosting this show? Because I do. Terry provoked so much thought in what I was feeling while I was watching that I kind of lost focus on what I was doing. So honestly, Terry, that was fantastic. Thank you. And then questions for Purr Gato. So I know you both, and I've seen your band evolve a lot over the years, like you were talking about. And it's cool to see people you know in a long form format like this. But Tyler talked about the absurdity of ideas sometimes that can seem innocuous and absurd, that don't have any higher design, that can become intensely meaningful. And Katrina talked about writing from a higher place to meet the circumstances kind of 2016. So with that said, 2020 has been a year full of absurdity and could definitely benefit from a higher place. How has your creativity been affected? Has it been positive? Has it been negative? Do you have plans to do more streaming stuff as time goes on? So I'm going to let you all answer those questions. And while you do, we're going to move on. And then during the chat break, I'll read them aloud. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for answering the questions. Also, Blaze in Space, extra special thank you for putting this all together. And Carlos from Astral Media Lab, we're nothing without you all. Thank you so much for making this happen. You can also ask questions to the performers yourself in the chat, so please feel free to do that. And if you want to ask me a question, just add me, and around the 30-minute point, we'll take a chat break and I'll answer them there too. So what is Weird at Night? Enough of this. What is Weird at Night? We're kind of a talk show, kind of a cable access like art show, kind of a sketch comedy, flim flam, riff-raff, politically radical by means of human empathy discussion place, where corporate corporeality and sun-kissed surreality dine together for a meal of laughs and you. We're a community, we're not a show. Everybody here is on the same page and on the same plane. Nobody's better than anybody else. And we have 2 mantras here, one from Blaze in Space, Attack with Love, and one from yours truly. Art is the antidote. So let's begin. So now that that is out of the way, we got to talk about why we're here and what the fuck are we actually celebrating, aside from the incredible music and discussion that we've already heard. Well, if this doesn't make sense to you, it barely makes sense to us, so bear with me. FINE CORP, a seemingly well-meaning corporate entity that promised to grow our Twitch community, was allowed into the community by me. They quickly tried to change everything about the show, started censoring the contributors and inserting their messaging all over the show. I would have been mad about it, but I was the one that brought them in. I watched some YouTube videos about monetizing Twitch, and I was really strung out on Surge, and I got super sucked into it, and data, bro. As that was happening, all the hippies in the Weird at Night universe disappeared, including Jack Panda of our house band, Gross Gorgeous. Olga Lowe, the other member of Gross Gorgeous, lost her mind over Jack disappearing and was eventually fired from the show by FINE CORP for falling apart. As the other hippies of Weird at Night returned, Jack stayed missing. And finally, we discovered that he was actually the grandnephew of Ted, the founder of FINE CORP. Okay. A whistleblower went public with accusations that FINE CORP had drugged and kidnapped people and was also responsible for the invention of nu metal. And that was when I lost my shit, because look, drugging and kidnapping is one thing, but if these motherfuckers are responsible for Limp Bizkit, I want to destroy. Okay? Finally, last episode, we discovered that Olga was in fact the whistleblower. FINE CORP had lured her to a location and threatened to murder their own nephew and her bandmate Jack Panda if she didn't get us all on board with FINE CORP's plan for the community. And it was at that point that FINE CORP realized they miscalculated. Olga, to everyone's surprise, simply laughed, murdered Jack Panda herself with a sweet hair whip, and left. FINE CORP, not anticipating such a cold and violent response, literally ran the fuck away and released us all from our contracts. And in a battle for the soul of art, our show and our community, our biggest villain and least artistically inclined person violently murdered someone we barely knew, and somehow that saved everything. So the lesson is a bit confusing. But the good part, at least for me, because I don't like Olga, is that she's wanted by the Cosmic Council for murder and her good ass hair, because it is a violent weapon, as we discovered. So, if you're still with me, thanks for hanging in. So where do we go from here? Now that the fight is over, what do? We celebrate the victory of art over commerce, motherfuckers. And that's what we're gonna do tonight. We got a whole bunch to share. We got music to share. We got Blazing Space. We got Mere Death coming up. But did you know? Wait, the thing I thought I was going to isn't where I thought it would be. And that happens sometimes, that's okay. So, we're just gonna take a little detour to this. That was Morty Arts and T1 from a show Blazing Space was a part of last year as part of a series called The Best You've Ever Seen. It was incredible. I wish we could do those kind of things right now, but we can't. So let's not dwell. But what I do want to touch base about, I can say it again. I can say the word love. I didn't realize till now that it was being turned into the word FINE CORP. So what I want to say to all of you right now is I hope you're checking in with yourselves, because I'm checking in with myself. And sometimes I have this thing I do where like I get momentum behind me, right? And I push in a direction with all of my might, and my might is mighty, right? My creative might, my focus. But I kind of become like a robot when I do that, right? And I can tune everything out and that's great, but I'm just kind of a machine, right? And I caught myself for the first time in 40 years in that middle of that process this week and realized that like, I'm not always being very real with the people in my life or the people around me because I'm so busy focused on the stuff going on in my life. So we spend 2 nights a week together and that's great because I feel like we all check in with each other pretty regularly. But I hope you're making time for the people in your life too, because that's a point of focus for me going forward, is to make more time for the people in my life and the people that are there for me. Because what the fuck else do we have in this moment, in the pandemic, with all this shit going on around us, except the people in our lives, right? There's no Twitch stream, there's no pot of gold, there's no anything that's going to replace the value of people. And here at Weird at Night, we believe that people come first and that time is worth a lot more than money, because if you really think about it, you can always make more money, but you can never make more time. So I hope you spend your time wisely, reflecting, I know this is incredibly difficult, and it seems like the pressure cooker gets turned up a little more every week, or a lot more sometimes. And I'm trying to figure out how to get the fuck through that myself. I have no advice to give on what to do to feel better. But what I do know is that you have to take care of yourself so that you can fight. We cannot take these things that are happening around us lying down. We have to vote. We have to fight. We have to stand up for the things that we know are right. That's all I got to say about it. All right, we've given into the love. Now it's time to give into the album recs, which I got 3 of them for you. I did not load any picks up, but that's okay. The first album rec that I got for you is First Rays of the New Rising Sun by Jimi Hendrix. Now, this is a record that was a kind of compilation of unreleased recordings after Jimi died, but they were all things that he was planning to release under the name The First Rays of the New Rising Sun. This album has some of Jimi's most advanced work in some ways. There's a song on it called Drifting that I find to be absolutely elegant and mesmerizing and surreal and haunting in this visceral way that a lot of people don't necessarily attribute to somebody like Jimi Hendrix. You know, it's every time you see Jimi Hendrix, it's, you know, or somebody playing Jimi Hendrix, it's, you know, him firing off on some solo or something. But we all know that the man was so much more than that. So First Rays of the New Rising Sun by Jimi Hendrix is the unproduced tapes of the sessions that he had prior to his death. There was another album released called Voodoo Soup about 20 years ago where Eddie Kramer, who had done those sessions, actually mixed them, and people were outraged, and so they've taken it out of the catalog, but it was actually really good. It sounded great. He really didn't do anything bad to it. But anyway, First Rays of the New Rising Sun by Jimi Hendrix. Next, Radio Dread by Easy Star All Stars. Now, if you haven't heard Radio Dread or Easy Star All Stars, that's okay, because now's your opportunity, all right? You should definitely check this out. This is a very spirited, loving, reggae-fied version of Radiohead music that I connect with just as deeply as the Radiohead versions. So I would really, really highly advise you to check that out. And then the last pick is from the cornball list of my personal life. It's The Stranger by Billy Joel. Yes, I said The Stranger by Billy Joel. I don't know what to tell you, because I've said harsh things about Dave Matthews, and I don't think Billy Joel and Dave Matthews are on equivalent planes of annoyance quite. But this is actually a really excellent record. The song The Stranger is amazing. The song Moving Out is amazing. And then there's I Love You Just the Way You Are, which was my parents' wedding song. I hate that song. Anyway, most of the album is very good, and it's probably the best thing he ever did. So definitely go check it out. And while you're checking those out, make sure that if you got Spotify, that you go on over to the Weird at Night Selects playlist on Spotify and check us out there. You can find basically all of the albums that we've recommended up until now from the community, from me, you can find there. So take a chance to go check it out if you use Spotify. And if you don't, we have the links to all this stuff, YouTube links in the chat, except the Jimi Hendrix stuff. And I want to take 1 minute to just say, you all have plenty of cash. Why isn't Jimi Hendrix on YouTube? Come on. This is a little absurd. Dear Lord. I mean, come on. So anyway, my personal bitch. But definitely go check out the Weird at Night Selects playlist, and also go check out our Discord, because we have a Discord where we have an active community. We talk about whatever's going on, and we have a pretty good time there. We have an Album Recs channel there where you can weigh in on what you think should be added to the list, and maybe it will be. So go check that out. Join our Discord. Stay in touch. We're here twice a week, but if you want to stay in touch in between, it's not very hard. It's actually really easy. So go do that. So, there was little write-up about the events of last episode. Olga Lowe saves Weird at Night. Thanks, Doc Bleimer. Called me a coward and a sellout. Which I am. I'll admit that I am. But, anyway. Moving right along. So, what do we have on board here next? Pull up my format. Oh, yeah.
And with that flying tackle, my magical experience came to an end. I've had a great time here and everything, but I gotta go home. I'm so exhausted. Zambini can only do so much. Probably 2 days of it out of 4. I like your fucking face though, and I like their faces, so I'm gonna get out of here before I get in any more trouble.
This is Sugar Weasel, America's own gigolo sex clown. Women will pay upwards of $1,000 for a night with this man, but lucky Michelle DeSwart gets to spend some quality time with him courtesy of us. Just one question for you, love. Do you find clowns sexy?
Do I find clowns sexy? No.
We won, baby. Feels good. Clean air. No fine core. I can say love. Not get censored. So I want to give you a treat because y'all were so amazing joining us in this fight against fine core. And I hope Olga Lowe is still laying low somewhere, staying away from the police. But tonight, I'm just gonna come at you as a director and give you a little treat. If you've been paying attention, I've previewed little pieces of a short film I've been working on with Emily Ravenscraft called Forget the Flowers and Your Monster. And so tonight, I'm going to catch you up on the story and her soundtrack, which goes about halfway through the film. And then I'm going to give you the treat of seeing my first draft of the ending, and that will be with Not For Sale's music, who has this awesome new EP out called Slowly Ascending, I believe, Slowly Ascending, which is Dark Days, some other amazing music remake. It's amazing. You need to check out Not For Sale. But yeah, I love y'all, and enjoy the movie. Attack with Love.
All right, that was a contribution from the one and only Blaze in Space. Thank you so much, Blaze in Space, for sharing that, and again, for putting this night of song and celebration together. So we're gonna play like this, because camera's weird. I can see you through the fog of time. Chase you to find your way. Be better than mine. Be better than mine. We on a broken record, lost to time. We break and rearrange, grow between the lines. Grow between the lines. I don't believe in fate. You were meant for me. I don't believe in fate. You were meant for me. Pain is a mentor to us all in time. Love grows in its remains, heals the great divine. Heals the great divine. I don't believe in fate. You were meant for me. I don't believe in fate. You were meant for me. I don't believe in fate. You were meant for me. I don't believe in fate. You were meant for. You were meant for. I don't believe in fate. You were meant for me. I don't believe in fate. You were meant for. You were meant for me. Pay some bills, eh? Weird at Night presented to you by Feeling Suspiciously Good? Try doom scrolling, a new revolutionary mode of time travel by staring into the abyss. It won't make you feel better, but it'll make you feel something. Presented by The Status Quo. We've designed your life, now shut the fuck up and live it. My life is a movie that will never end. Patient acceptance of mediocrity is freedom. Returning very soon, Dawn's Long Gone Lawns. Dawn takes acid and plays with knives on your lawn. God is in the grass, man. Use promo code 129-7777-777-999-125. Something will happen. Pay $10, probably an acid. No talking, just keep the kids and pets inside. Blaze in Space and I both vouch for Don. We've worked with Don a lot, and he has always come through, at least in terms of amusement. And finally, back under community management, Shitty's Pizza, Fine Corp's fucking gone. The hospital is still next door. You can use that promo code, Why God Do We Suffer. You get that free depubing. Normally $4.99, and I can assure you the people at Shitty's are hiring the hairiest people they can find, so that this is the best deal it can be. Limit one per customer on the corner of 9th and Nocturnal Drive. Just pass the memory of that first fully charged smartphone. All right. We're about halfway through. So if you want to go take a piss or you want to go, I don't know, go do something. Don't go. Don't go. I'm going to read back through the chat here. See what we're all talking about. So let's see if anybody answered my question. All right. So Terry firstly says, I'm a person who feels like we are held back by narratives that define our output. So although we are in a pandemic, my release rate is only determined by the state of creativity I'm in. Well said, sir. And then secondly says, as far as keeping my chin up, it's very challenging, but I feel like the ultimate positivity is life itself. And since we have to exist in this realm, I choose to express. By doing so, it helps me feel complete and able to move forward. Again, Terry, great words, and thank you so much. And I think I should be a co-host contributor, LOL. Terry, if you want to be a contributor on this show, buddy, spot is yours. All yours, buddy. And whatever else. So just let me know, because we'd love to have more of you on the show. As far, did we hear from Purr Gato? I don't see any answers from them. So... All right. So that appears to be the answers that we have. Terry wanted a remix of my song, which hasn't even been mixed once. So I got to record it. And then yes, absolutely, sir. I would love to collab with you, Terry. All right. So moving ahead, we have a few more things to talk about. This is a great time. September is a really good time to subscribe to the channel because you get a big discount, 20% off 1 month, 25% off 3 months, and 30% off 6 months. It's really easy to do. It's a huge support to us. We really appreciate it. Also, we have the shopofwan.com where you can get amazing merch that we've made based around some of the people on the show, some of the characters on the show. And we also have specific designs for artists that will go 100% to the artist reference. You can check out Matt Jenkins' designs. Blazing Space has some merch in there. We're going to have some Astral Media merch in there very soon. So check out the shopofwan.com. It's another great way to support us. And while you're perusing, you know, if anything jumps out at you or if there's anything that you wish was there that's not, let us know. Because we want to outfit you all in the proper attire. And if you're not flush, it's not a problem at all. We don't put anything behind a paywall here at Weird at Night. We understand everybody's in very different situations right now, including us. So just give us a follow on the channel. It's a big help. Join us live every Tuesday and Saturday at midnight, because that is when we normally air. And just hang out, have fun. Jesus fucking Christ, guys! We don't have to make this so stressful. Stop stressing me out. Okay, artisan. All right. So this episode, we are talking about very famous surrealist Rene Magritte. Magritte is one of the most well-known surrealists, and was really kind of more of an outwardly intellectual painter than a lot of painters generally are. He was willing to talk about and explain his work in ways that many are kind of evasive about. So there's lots on the record of him talking about his work. I tried to gather things that I thought would be the most striking, but Magritte, I can tell you, is somebody who has been parodied, copied, influenced so many people. But you know, the one particularly with the dove in front of his face, and then another, there's the pipe, which is a very, very famous piece as well. But I've read a very interesting quote with him about one of these pieces. It's this one. It's the Son of Man with the apple in front of his face. Magritte's telling of that is that so often we're trying to talk to something behind something else. So the apple is in front of your face. You're trying to talk to someone's face. What does the apple represent? There's some obvious biblical stuff it could represent. And Magritte talked about how so often what we're trying to see is behind something else. So in this case, the apple could represent Adam, sin, could represent all those things. And so that could lead you to conclude that perhaps Magritte is inferring that you're seeing somebody through all of those filters when you're seeing them. Like, you know, your personal blockades in front of seeing things clearly. And I was so, you know, I'm very into taking your own interpretations from things, but Magritte had such a great way of talking about it. So we're dropping a link into the chat. Thank you, Ash Maddie. I see that there. And I hope you'll check it out. If you don't know much about Rene Magritte, he's somebody that's fascinating and somebody you can learn a lot from. So check it out.
Tonight we dance for our treasured guest of honor, Fester Adams.
Alright, here we go. We're in traffic at just a typical time for a classic weather report 5. Oh my god, folks. It's a morning, and I feel suspiciously good for given how fucky everything is. And I mean everything. But there's a small kernel of victory somewhere here. I don't know if I'm qualified to speak to it, because I've been known to be, from the beginning, anti-FINE. Get it? Yes, I'm anti-FINE, and I will remain anti-FINE until the end of my time on this earth. And they're gone, but tendrils remain. But let's not take an Olga Low pathway and see that there was a solution that didn't include hair murder. Okay. Part 2. Come on. I should quit. I probably won't for a while. It is for lack of trying. Hi. Still Meredith. Still a weather report. Got a little off the rails, but let's bring it back to le classique. But it is the 22nd of September. This is the autumnal equinox. Sure are a lot of fine-looking dragons out these days. And the only comfort I'm capable of finding is that they have shown themselves for what they are at this point. It's harder and harder for them to hide what they are. But like any good behemoth, they have a soft underbelly, and it is squishy, and it is vulnerable. The reckoning is not going to be on us. If we stick together, the reckoning will be on those for whom it has been long deserved. And I'm not saying hair murder. I'm saying get down and dirty and honest. Because I think if we can all get down and dirty and honest and admit fault and weakness and fear for what it is, and see it in one another and recognize each other's basic humanity, we got a shot. A shot. Weather report. Fitting. Fitting.
How can I be happy? Some people believe that there is one single meaning of life. They think that the universe was created for a purpose, and that human beings are part of some larger cosmic plan. They think our meaning comes from being part of this plan and is written into the universe waiting to be discovered. A humanist view of meaning in life is different. Humanists do not see that there is any obvious purpose to the universe, but that it is a natural phenomenon with no design behind it. Meaning is not something out there waiting to be discovered, but something that we create in our own lives. And although this vast and incredibly old universe was not created for us, all of us are connected to something bigger than ourselves, whether it is family and community, a tradition stretching into the past, an idea or cause looking forward to the future, or the beautiful wider natural world on which we were born and our species evolved. This way of thinking means that there is not just one big meaning of life, but that every person will have many different meanings in their life. Each one of us is unique, and our different personalities depend on a complex mixture of influences from our parents, our environment, and our connections. They change with experience and changing circumstances. There are no simple recipes for living that are applicable to all people. We have different tastes and preferences, different priorities and goals. One person may like drawing, walking in the woods and caring for their grandchildren. Another may like cooking, watching soap operas, savouring a favourite wine or a new food. We may find meaning through our family, our career, making a commitment to an artistic project or a political reform, in simple pleasures such as gardening, in hobbies, or in 1,000 other ways, giving rein to our creativity or our curiosity, our intellectual capacities or our emotional life. The time to be happy is now, and the way to find meaning in life is to get on and live it as fully and as well as we can.
every step of the way. I drown in you. I hate myself to know it, but I couldn't see it through every step of the way. I drown in you. I felt so damn uncertain, but I never knew what I could do. La da na. La da da. La da da da. Yeah. You could face up to the fact that you wasted your time with me. Don't you wanna be protected, love, and the love, all those feelings get away. Oh my love, I feel it, I feel it. I wanted to feel it so long. Yeah, when I look into your eyes, I see nothing beyond them anymore. Them anymore. Every step of the way, I drowned in you. All right. So we are winding down here, and it has been a total pleasure to share this evening with you. It's been great to celebrate the defeat of FINE CORP. It's been great to revel in the art of our friends Terry Monstrosity, Purr Gato, Astral Media Lab, Blazing Space, Mere Death, and so many more. The show is fueled by you. You are the reason that we do this. It's such a privilege to be able to get together with you twice a week, bleed out onto the screen, and then go back and do our thing and feel a little better for it. So thank you all. I want to touch on something that Terry brought up when he was performing. Now, Terry kind of touched on this idea that people inherently want to be connected. And I think that we need to fight for connection. That's, much as Mere Death is well said. We inherently do want to be connected. And I think that our toxic culture is largely driven by the polarization that we feel. It doesn't feel right for people to be so divisively divided. Anyway, it doesn't feel right for people to be so disconnected from each other. And I think that there is something to all that. And so I hope all of us can explore our humanity and continue to explore our compassion and empathy to the degree that is possible in these very, very trying times, not only for others, but for ourselves. And now, we're going to wrap this up with an auto write. Are you ready? I hope so, because I'm not waiting. So, if you don't know what automatic writing is, automatic writing, I count down from 10, and as I do, you try to clear your thoughts. And then when I say go, you start writing. You don't censor, you don't edit, don't spell correct, it doesn't matter. Write everything you think, and when I say stop, we all hit enter, and we all read each other's thoughts together out loud, and then we get the fuck out of here. And some of us are going to go to Discord, which I hope you will after the show. But until then, let's do the auto write. So I'm going to start counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, stop. I'll let some come in. Okay. So I'll read mine because we're on. We have a bit of a longer delay between us right now. So, art is the way I see the world is real. I don't think there's meant to be one way of seeing. And art is interpretive and allows for nuance and measure in a way sports don't. Sports are cool too. I like dogs. I have a dog. Her name is Luna. She pooped on my bed 2 months ago, and everyone was real ashamed. We just looked at each other in mutual recognition and the sorrow we both felt, and it never came up again. And that's true. The dog and I have never spoken about that since. Matt Jenkins. Buttons and mass of a giant butt are coming from the outer reaches of space to eat something of a pink and green color that will enrich only those who find the something porching steps in the space between your toes. Capillary. Thanks, Matt. Alex F and V. There's a submarine beeping somewhere on the left. I like it when songs do the panning thing in my headphones. There's probably nothing in the world that makes me happier. I miss going to shows. I miss the crowds and the people, and I miss my tour friends. I miss my tour friends. I miss your tour friends too, Alex. TC Blackout. Woke up at 4:30 a.m., still awake. It's okay because I think I'm good minus the hiccups. Sorry about the hiccups, if only. Purr Gato. There was a better way, would have found it by now, but I can't seem to look any further than past my own nose or any other nose for that matter. I'm not even sure who you are anymore or anybody else. Can I have an amen? Can I have another? And finally, Mere Death. The snakes are in the plastic bags in the corner. Tried playing leapfrog, and it felt like sun and the gnats again. And yet clocking away, it's another turn. I need those who I can passion towards so hard to see the best iron ore and goldsmiths and locks unbounded within my sacred heart. It's been on pause so long that I'm aching for a day that I also know I can't possibly hold. And the delay has gotten me so I have not said my words, but here we go, and go, and go, and snap, here is the way. Well, that's a vast collection of thoughts. That's a vast collection of people. And I'm very glad that you've joined us tonight for this very special celebration of art and the defeat of FINE CORP. I want to thank once again Terry Monstrosity. I want to thank Purr Gato. I want to thank Astral Media for producing the wonderful AV podcast with Purr Gato on it, The Lab. I want to thank Blaze in Space for organizing this whole night and making the whole thing come together. You are the glue. Thank you so much. And finally, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. It means the world for me to share this time with you each and every week. So, until Saturday, I hope you'll take some time to do something dumb that doesn't hurt anyone, or you, at least not too much. I love you all. Have a great night.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Oh my god, how fucking good of a host is Patrick Galactic, bringing all these creators together, all of these different experiences, poetry, writing, music videos, theater, short films, and he plays music himself. And not only that, took down an entire corporation over the last 10 episodes. I implore all of you to subscribe to the weirdatnight.com Twitch. It's a ton of fun. Also, make sure to subscribe to NOIR GRIME so you can see more of Terry Monstrosity. Of course, you can buy his music on TerryMonstrosity.bandcamp.com. Astral Media Lab, who produced this stream, astralmedialab.com. Of course, you can see this stream in its entirety. You can share it. Even though it's over, you can watch it back on Astral Media Lab's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, and at weirdatnight.com. I'm Blaze of Space. I love you. Attack with love.